Hi Sagittarius, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So, this is going to be your love and spirituality reading for the month of November, and this will be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I'm also going to be doing an extended reading, and I will leave that in the description box down below. So make sure you check that out when you are finished watching this video. So let's see what's going on for the month of November, Sagittarius. King of Pentacles comes out in the past position. Let's clarify that. This Five of Cups was dying to come out, and I kept on trying to ignore it and like scooch it back into the deck, but it wanted to come out so badly. You have the Five of Cups and the King of Pentacles. This Five of Cups has come out in at least half of my readings, I will say. So about 6 of the 12 signs. This card has come out. So a lot of people are in an energy of grief or in an energy of mourning. With this being here with the King of Pentacles, I'm thinking that this is the person that you are grieving over. So you could have been with someone who you saw as husband or wife material, someone who you thought you could have something grounded and stable with, but with the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups being here, obviously things did not pan out according to plan, because obviously you wouldn't be grieving the loss of this person if it did. For some of you, you have this person in your life currently, and you are having a hard time connecting with them because you are grieving another past situation, or they are grieving another past situation. So I'm picking up a couple different groups. For those of you who you're with this person and you feel like they have some unfinished business in the past, you may want to hold off on completely trying to jump into something with them or trying to build something with them, because it looks like past energy is still kind of rearing its ugly head. And that can go both ways. It could be you that has something from the past that you're not over, or they could have something from the past that they're not over. Or it could be, like I said, you are not over this person. So just take it as it resonates, but that was in the past. For some of you, I'm getting that there's, hold on, a message is trying to come through, but it's like stuck. Cloak. It's stuck. I don't know. It's trying to come through, but I'm not sure what it's trying to say. I'm hearing like a cloak. I'm getting like a Harry Potter image or reference. God, this is gonna piss me off because I love Harry Potter. So a Harry Potter analogy would be perfect right now, but it's just not coming through. So hopefully, somebody's outside the door. Hopefully it'll come through later on. Like some of you possibly having to do with the invisibility cloak in Harry Potter, some of you wanting to be invisible, or some of you not wanting to be seen. So really like going into hibernation is what I'm seeing, and focusing on your work. So really just going into hermit mode and focusing on building up your career or building up your self-confidence. I wish that message was more clear, but that's all I'm getting. So let's see for the present position. The Ace of Wands. I'm also hearing that some of you could have been dealing with someone who is really well known, or someone who's very confident, so a lot of people look up to them, someone who's very wealthy in some way. Okay, these messages are all over the place so far. Let's see if we can narrow it down. So in the present, you got the Ace of Wands. And the Moon card in reverse. So with the Moon card being in reverse, I feel like you are coming out of a period of illusion in the present moment. You are really seeing things from a very realistic standpoint. In the past, you could have been kind of idealizing someone or idealizing a situation, meaning that you were seeing it the way you wanted to see it and you have very high hopes for it. And you can kind of get into this energy of not being realistic or not being grounded when you are too much in your head and too much thinking about the future and how you picture the future to be. Of course, when you do picture the future, or when you do want something, you're supposed to visualize it as if it's yours, but it gets kind of tricky because you have to still stay in the present moment. Because, sorry, my neighbors, this has been going on in like all of my videos, so annoying. But anyway, like I was saying, it's hard to manifest things in the present moment. I mean, when you're not in the present moment, because it's like you're projecting into the future or you're stuck in the past. So you can't really manifest things from the ground floor. You see what I'm saying? You have to be in the present moment in order to manifest. So be very careful about that. But I feel like you are being careful about that because you're coming out of illusion. And you have the Ace of Wands right here. So the Ace of Wands is talking about you being creative in the present moment or taking on this creative type of energy. It's like the universe handing you a baton and giving you the go-ahead to take it and run. But you having not been able to do that in the past because, like I said, you were projecting into the future or you were thinking too much about the past. So now it's like your mind is locked in on the present moment and really taking inventory of the things that are going on around you so that then you could take the proper step towards moving forward in the direction of the things that you want in a very realistic type of grounded way. And that's why in the past you could have had this grieving period, this period of grief with this King of Pentacles coming up, is because you could have started to realize that the pedestal that you put this person on was one that they were not going to live up to, or you could have put yourself up on this pedestal. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but you could have put yourself up on this pedestal and then had to grieve. It's a very weird message because usually putting yourself on a pedestal is a good thing. So it's possible that you were possibly idealizing yourself, or someone was idealizing you and they were disappointed in who you turned out to be, and so you became disappointed in yourself. That can happen when someone puts you on a pedestal and they're like expecting you to be a certain way and they're not accepting you for who you really are. They're like only seeing you for what they want you to be, and then they get disappointed in you because you're not who they wanted you to be, and so then it kind of causes you to be disappointed in yourself, if that makes sense. But I feel like a lot of illusion and a lot of that idealization is really dying down, so that then, like I said, you can manifest in the present moment from a grounded standpoint. So let's see what's going on in the month of November. For some of you, that moon card is representing secrets that have come to the light. And usually this is the energy that follows. After a secret comes out or after something isn't clear and it becomes clear, you usually get this burst of energy to move forward. Because when you're in the moon energy, you can get kind of stuck. Because like I said, it's a lot of illusions and a lot of lack of clarity. So when you do finally get that clarity, you do get this like burst of energy and you get inspired to just move forward. Because now you are no longer stuck thinking about it or stuck in your head about the situation. Okay. A little incident with my neighbors. I thought that was going to throw me off for a second. It took me out of the groove. Okay, let's see. Let's see for the month of November. Okay, card was trying to come out, but it didn't. But let's see Sagittarius for the month of November. Another card that keeps coming out. Am I shuffling these right? I swear. The same cards are coming out for each sign. And I'm like, okay, let me shuffle some more. Everybody's getting the same exact cards. So the Six of Pentacles. I mean, the Six of Cups is here in the reverse. These two cards came out in the Leo reading. So some of you could be dealing with the Leo. Everybody just has the same energy. I just wanted like fresh energy for the Sagittarius reading. Okay. So the Six of Cups and then the Seven of Wands is here. So in the month of November, you could be feeling quite defensive and feeling like you have to have your guard up because someone from the past could possibly be coming back around in the month of November. I do believe that the Mercury retrograde starts in November, if I'm not mistaken. So it's very possible that people from your past start to come back, people that you don't necessarily want to see because the Six of Cups is in the reverse. So I feel like it's people from your past that you genuinely are done with and they possibly are not done with you. And they want some type of conversation with you, or they want to hash something out, or there's some type of unfinished business, but I feel like you want no parts of it because you look very defensive in the month of November, as you should be, especially if it's someone in the past who betrayed your trust or someone who you had to really spend a long time getting over. It just would not be wise to let them back in that easily. So I feel like in the month of November, that's a test you're going to have to overcome, seeing how you're going to respond to this type of situation. Some of you are going to be tempted to go back to the past and to put energy into the past, and you're being guided not to do so. with the Knight of Cups, because you will only be doing so, with the Death card here, because you are afraid of change, or you are comfortable with whatever this person is, or whatever situation you were in with this person. It's coming from a place of being comfortable. It's not coming from a place of genuinely loving or caring about the person, or the person being genuinely good for you. It's literally coming from a place, like I said, of just sheer comfort. This is somebody that you're familiar with, so you'd rather go back and deal with them rather than starting something new and dealing with someone else. And that is just not, you're not being advised to do that at all. Keep your guard up and remember why in the first place you guys ended up splitting up, or why you ended up not speaking to each other. If you have some closure that you need, or you need to hash out something with this person, then fine, but I just would not recommend putting energy and effort back into a past situation. It ended for a reason, you know, but you can do whatever you'd like. I'm just the messenger, you know. Let's pull two more. So I feel like also for the month of November, some of you are needing to be nurtured in some way. Like, I'm getting that you need like a hug. Aw. Like, you just feel like overwhelmed, and you probably need just someone to like hold you and nurture you. I'm hearing that some of you need to get like a weighted blanket. Because I heard this on I forget, like a video or a commercial, I don't know. But I know someone was saying like a weighted blanket is supposed to mimic the feeling of a hug. And so you may need to invest in one of those in November, is what I'm seeing. It makes you feel like protected, you know? Especially if you don't have that nurturing energy around you. You don't have people available to you that can hug you, which is sad, you know, but some people don't. Some people don't have people in their lives that they feel comfortable hugging. And you have to be careful who you hug, especially when you have like a broken heart, or you just feel very vulnerable, because their energy will absorb right into you when your heart is broken, you know? So you can't just be out here hugging just anybody. So a weighted blanket, a warm shower, a warm bath, anything that kind of remind you of a hug will be helpful for you in the month of November. Queen of Cups in reverse. Knight of Wands. Okay, I'm getting this very strong feeling that someone from your past is going to try to return, and it's someone who was in and out of your life, somewhat of a player type is what I'm seeing with the Knight of Wands being here. It's like someone who comes into your life, there's passion, there's romance, and then boom, they're gone. And I feel like this is someone who has drained you a lot in the past, with the Queen of Cups being here. I feel like this is someone who's drained you a lot in the past, and someone who's left you feeling very confused or very stuck when it comes to your emotions because of how inconsistent they are. I just feel this energy of someone who they just don't know how to stick with one person, or they don't know how to keep their promises. And I feel like this person is going to try to come back in your life in the month of November for sure. I'm getting that energy very heavily. This person could actually be in your life currently, and you could be being guided to let go of that person actually, is what I'm seeing. If someone's in your life that's just completely inconsistent and it's draining you and it keeps you wondering, because I'm getting the Queen of Cups in reverse, I'm getting the energy of wondering. You're constantly wondering, like, okay, where do I stand with this person? What do they feel about me? Or you're like anxious every time they don't answer their phone right away, because they just don't make you feel secure. They just make you feel very insecure. And for some of you, this could be you needing to look at your attachment style in the month of November. So if you have an anxious attachment style where just in general you're always anxious about being left, or you're very anxious about, you know, when a person doesn't answer their text on time, or like, what do they think about me? Are they going to cut me off? Like, if you're very anxious about things like that, this energy is one that you definitely don't want to entertain, because it's going to just make that anxious attachment style even worse for you. When you have an anxious, preoccupied attachment style, you really just need to be around people who are grounded, stable, and consistent. You can't be around like flimsy people who make you wonder or second guess about yourself. The Queen of Cups can also be about codependency, so that could be coming up in the month of November. You examining your codependency, and you examining this energy of you possibly being in and out of people's lives because of your codependency, because that is a possibility. When you have codependency, or you have some type of love addiction or things like that, you can start to get into relationships and they run dry, and now you have to go off and find somebody else or find something else in order to fill that kind of void. So that could be a theme that's coming up in the month of November, is what I'm seeing. Okay, so I'm going to actually show you the cards before we move into the extended, so I will be right back. Okay, Sagittarius, so here is your spread, and like I said in my previous videos, I've been showing all of the signs, their cards, so that you can see the pictures for yourself and see if any intuitive messages pop out at you. So just take a second and just look at the spread. So I feel like in the month of November, there is going to be a brief grieving period over the past, with the Five of Cups coming up over the Six of Cups. But I feel like it's going to be very brief. I feel like a lot of you have been already possibly grieving or possibly trying to let go of the past the best way that you know how. And it looks like you are finally going to be releasing that in the month of November. So that is a good thing. But it looks like you could possibly run into some type of test, meaning that someone from your past could show back up out of nowhere, trying to reconcile or trying to hash things out. And it's your job to use everything that you've learned in that past cycle and use your discernment to whether or not, to figure out whether or not you actually want this person in your life, or if this person is an asset to your life. I'm thinking that they're not, personally, and again, I read for a lot of people, so you have to use your own judgment call for this, because obviously I can't pick up on everyone's energy, or I can't give you specific advice when I read for so many people, but I just strongly feel like the person is not worth putting the effort back into, especially if they left you in this state of grief before. They're likely to do it again, so just take note of that. But with the Six of Cups being here in the reverse, there can be some type of lesson that you two are meant to learn from each other that is incomplete in some way. So it could be them coming back to finish out a past cycle that you feel like just did not close out the right way. With the King of Pentacles being there and the Seven of Wands being there as well, I feel like this person from the past does take on this King of Pentacles energy, someone who's very confident or possibly has a lot of money or wealth, or someone who's just very much focused on their career, someone who you see as very stable, but you have to be very defensive with them, or they feel very defensive around you. So obviously there's something that is off about the trust between you two, and you're needing to examine why that is. It's like, even if a person has all of your ideal traits within, or like they have all of your traits that you feel like you would want in a future partner, ask yourself, why is it that you would have to feel so defensive around them then? Or why is it that you feel like they're inconsistent? Or why is it that you feel like you can't fully give yourself fully to them? And this could also be their energy of them being like that. They could be kind of closed off, lacking in feminine energy, so they're just hyper masculine and they just are not as soft as you would like them to be. So again, just take it as it resonates. I'm getting a lot of mixed energy here. So for some of you, it's someone from the past returning. For some of you, this person is in your life currently. So again, take it as it resonates, because I'm getting a lot of mixed messages. So with the Ace of Wands being here and then the Queen of Cups coming underneath it, I feel like you are going to have a burst of energy or a burst of creative ideas in the month of November, and you're asked to kind of take those ideas and run with it. And even if it's not ideas, it could just be creative energy in general that you're needing to get started on your new path. So you're being advised to take it and run with it. So you might want to stay away from things that basically drain you, or things that kind of take you out of that element. If it's something that's around you, or someone that's around you that's really just making it impossible for you to step onto this new abundant path, then you may need to separate yourself from them in the month of November. Especially with but I feel like I'm out of breath. I feel like I'm running a marathon ever since I mentioned this Ace of Wands card, because I feel like that's what some of you are going to be feeling, like this random rush of energy that's just going to propel you forward. So that's a positive thing, but it could be somewhat overwhelming to you. It's like a certain amount of stamina that you're going to have to keep up in the month of November, because once you start, it's like you're not going to want to stop. So that's why you need to remove yourself from anything that's draining you or anything that's trying to throw you off track. Especially with Jupiter moving into Sagittarius, there's going to be a lot of expansion. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for expansion, and so anything that you want, now is the time to start putting in energy into it so it can expand as the month moves forward. The Moon card is in reverse and the Knight of Wands is in reverse. So if you're dealing with an energy of someone who is kind of secretive and they're kind of sporadic with their energy, meaning that they're in and out, they're inconsistent, you don't know you know, whether they're coming or going, that person needs to be removed from your life in the month of November, because they're just going to hold you back, especially in the career department with the Page of Pentacles being here. They're just going to hold you back from anything that you're trying to focus on. The Page of Pentacles is the energy of someone who is very much eyes on the prize, very focused, learning a new craft or learning a new skill, or just having their eye very locked in on what they want and able to manifest that because they are so grounded. And this person, whoever this person is with the Knight of Wands, has the ability to really throw you off from that. And this person could actually be you with the Knight of Wands. It could be you who is kind of inconsistent and you spread your energy too thin, meaning that you're trying to invest in too many things at once, and these things that you're investing in are draining you. So make sure whatever you are investing in, it's things that are replenishing you and filling you up, and they're not things that are distracting you and not going to give you a positive outcome when the future time rolls around. So I think that is it, Sagittarius. I thank you for ordering this reading. I feel so out of breath. Like I'm literally just like sitting here and I'm out of breath. So I know that a lot of energy is coming your way in the month of November. So please take advantage of it. Get things done. Focus on the things that you want. Just focus on expansion in all areas. So again, I thank you for watching. I will leave the link to the extended down below. And in the extended, I will be extending this reading, extending this spread, and clarifying some of these cards. But I'll also be doing the working with your shadow spread as well, where we will tap more deeply into your subconscious mind and see what's going on in there for the month of November. So again, I thank you for watching, and I will leave the link to the extended down below, and I will see you guys over on Vimeo.